Let's get you the best methods to improve and make sure you succeed. Hi everyone and welcome to the Focused Rage channel. In our last video, we created a simple scale of 3 types of people, where you could determine how committed you are and how much you give back. The types were: Level 1. I need more experience to get a better position at another company, so I'll sign whatever you give me.
Okay.
Level 2. I have kids at home and a mad wife, so I won't say anything to the management and live in fear my whole life.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
Level 3. My dad is the CEO of the company and I like to vlog my vacation trips on social media. We got to the conclusion that we should all aim to be at level 3, although it does take some work. Okay, jokes aside, if you want to know what the 3 types are, go and watch the previous video, it's a good one. In this one, I'll make sure to give you the most useful and practical advice on how to grow in your position. So watch until the end for the bonus round. I will be giving examples from sales, of course, because that's my expertise. And before you go on and blame this video on promoting hustle culture and whatnot,
the way to prove yourself is to better yourself. That's the American dream.
First, it's bad to generalize anything. Second, working hard and having a fair opportunity at something are 2 factors that depend completely on your situation. Some people really do not need to work as much, whereas others really do not have a choice. Third, if you have a weak work ethic and a comfortable life, sooner or later you will be forced out of that bubble into something worse. Whereas if you have a strong work ethic and a less comfortable life, you have a chance to grow that life into something better.
I gotta say, it felt great to be doing so awesome.
The algorithm will almost never promote such a video regardless of the work ethic behind it. So help the channel reach more people by subscribing and following for more. Now, why become better? We looked at it a couple of times in the last 2 videos, but let's look at it from a different perspective. Why not? What else do you have there in your life that you'd rather do? What does it give you? What's the trajectory of your life in the next 5 years? Maybe in the next 10 years? What would you have at that point? Actually, what would you be able to give at that point?
What more do you want from me?
The questions are infinite. To a lot of them you might say, I really don't care about that. But truly, there hasn't been a person that hasn't paid the price of not improving.
What did it cost?
Everything.
As humans, when we don't improve, we just become more expendable than what we already are. And life becomes harder. So you do care about it and you know it. Coming back to the questions, the best question to me is, what would happen if I don't become better? I'll leave the answer to you. Now let's move on to the methods and feel free to write them down only if you're planning to use them. Additionally, please write in the comments the most effective ways for you to improve professionally. First practical advice. No, it's not asking me, a stranger on the internet, for help. That comes later. When you're working on yourself, especially on a professional level, make sure you get advice from people that are far beyond that. People that have overachieved what you're planning to do right now. Example with sales. You want to become the best salesperson in the team? Make sure you speak with the sales managers that have already gone through that road. If you don't have sales managers that have been previously top performers, that's unacceptable. Send them to my channel.
What the fuck did you say?
It's literally nothing.
But yeah, overall, you will always walk through a path that someone else has already succeeded in. Use that. Sometimes I even talk on such topics with people that I barely know, and we try to find leaders inside and outside of the company to ask for opinions. Note, always ask a minimum of 3 people on how this professional path will affect your life. Second practical advice. Now that we have discussed our professional aim with leaders that have succeeded, we turn to another person that can help us. No, not me again. It's your colleague. Every single team, let it be sales or something else, always has a top dog. Sometimes those people are nice, other times they're quite arrogant.
You come from nothing. You're nothing.
That's fine, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you ask. Most people do the following. First of all, they ask for help, and second, they do it only when they have a problem that they cannot solve themselves. Almost nobody will want to help you, and even if they do, nonetheless, after a couple of times, they will feel irritated. That's human nature. Instead, do this. Ask them to give you their story, and you should be genuinely interested in that. How they became so good, their successes, their failures, what they like to do, and what not to do in the work environment. Also, instead of doing it when you have a problem, simply do it when your team is having a good week. When you combine those 2 things, almost everybody will share with you. People like to talk about themselves. Meanwhile, you just guide them in the direction you need.
You just talk too damn much.
This will be practical advice coming from someone that's in your current position and time. Remember what they say and write it down. Try to do it 2 or 3 times a month, not more. Also, feel free to get the same perspective from different people in other teams. It's gonna help a lot. Doing so will also build some nice reputation for yourself as a plus. Third practical advice is practice. Yes, you won't be able to gain any experience while watching a video. Practice means multiple things. Ask your management for constructive feedback and trainings, individual and team trainings. In sales, this would mean role plays and listening to your calls with clients. Sales guys, if your managers are not calling clients in front of you, or at the very least are not selling in your role plays, that's unacceptable. Send them to my channel.
I warned you.
Schedule these training meetings and make sure you follow them. Hell, even your dog knows when to ask for a walk. It doesn't just sit and wait to take a shit on your carpet. Those that do that to your carpet, please do not be like those. Do not wait to take a shit on your team. When you do these trainings, a lot of people make the mistake of creating a list of things that you need to fix. That's nice to do for an annual plan maybe, but not here. When you're inside of a training, the best way to do it is to focus on just one thing. Figure out what that thing is and start from there. Do not mix multiple topics. It does more harm than it does good. Sometimes all it takes is just one training session to understand the core of becoming better at one thing. Other times it's multiple sessions. Nonetheless, what matters is for you to have persistence. Fourth practical advice. Now and only now, after all the talks with people that have succeeded above your position, after exchanging valuable information and gaining insight from your top colleagues, after doing constant trainings that you requested, now you can turn to external resources like mine, like books, like many other things. Nobody from the outside will know right now exactly what's going on with you, with your team, with your company and industry. Not in detail at least. Nonetheless, if you do decide to listen to these videos, make sure you follow them and see what results they give you. What I am saying here at first may sound basic, but I've been leading teams for years, and the amount of self-initiated teamwork and self-requested training has always been close to zero if I don't remind people about it. I've always had to teach the people in my teams about this way of thinking, and even when we go through that, they would still have slow periods inside of which they would silently refuse to ask for help. I'd have to see myself how I could support them and basically be a detective looking for clues.
Got anything? Not much.
Don't wait for someone else to do your growth for you. Talk, ask, and work on it. Fifth practical advice. The things you do outside of work are the ones that matter the most. Less trash, more quality. This programs your thinking and your emotions. I spoke about it in the last video, so I won't go too much into it, but basically your food, your habits, your movement or lack of movement, your surroundings, including people, and much more. For this fifth point, I just need to say, do not ignore it. You will regret it later. Bonus round.
You want to risk it all and go for the big payoff? Or stop now and walk away with your bills paid off? What is your decision?
1. Don't multitask, prioritize one thing at a time when working. 2. Document any additional work that you're doing. 3. Turn off your goddamn phone. 4. For home office, dedicate a specific place just for work. 5. Segment your responsibilities into smaller parts and see how much time each one will take. 6. Don't leave unfinished tasks, tomorrow might be harder. 7. Prioritize in the following order: quality of work, results, business communications, and breaks and talks with colleagues about life. 8. Give yourself a suitable downtime. Sometimes multiple breaks per 10 to 15 minutes are better than a big one of 60 to 90. 9. Don't be afraid to change something if it seems inefficient. 10. If you're really good at what you do, you might get overworked, so allocate some tasks by using proper communication methods with the team and the management. Follow my channel to learn how to do that. 11. And last one, no need to try to always be positive like they say, however, always try to be healthy.
I make a little protein drink.
These small habits will outscale a lot of other strategies and allow you to grow faster and better the longer you use them. When you set a goal for yourself and you structure that goal in your head properly, you will start viewing the world in a much different way than how you've been viewing it up until now. That's actually how people visualize things. So when you believe in a goal and you create a realistic plan for chasing it, instead of seeing roadblocks for every single problem you face, you'll start seeing solutions. So structure your aim accurately, go into the details, and be honest with yourself on where you want to be in the next 1, 2, 5 years or more. Many of us think we know the answer to this question, but if I sat you down right now and I asked you to write a one-pager on your goals and how you plan to achieve them, 90% of us will fail.
You underestimate my power! Don't try it!
So take 30 minutes now to write down your goals at least for this year, and right next to those goals, the work and sacrifice that has to be done to achieve them. Without work and sacrifice, all valuable goals will never come to fruition. Thank you for watching, everybody. This is a new and starting channel, so please feel free to support by subscribing, placing a nice huge thumbs up, and I'm actually curious, do you need any specific sales or negotiation trainings in the future? I am gonna be making videos on those topics, but I would sure love to make it more personalized. Thank you again. Stick to the channel, stick to yourself, and stick together. Cheers!